One, a corporate coach designing a learning experience for mid-level leaders should prioritize which adult learning principle to increase engagement. A, repetition of foundational theory. B, self-directed goal setting. C, high-stakes testing. D, mandatory lecture attendance. 2. When evaluating the effectiveness of a coaching program, which method provides the strongest evidence of behavioral change in participants? A, end of session satisfaction surveys. B, peer observation reports. C, verbal feedback from participants. D, manager and performance-based assessments. 3. A coach wishes to build trust quickly with a new client. Which communication technique is most effective? A, using scripted questions. B, demonstrating active listening. C, sharing personal experiences extensively. D, correcting assumptions immediately. 4. In curriculum development for leadership coaching, which step should occur first to ensure alignment with organizational goals? A, selecting content delivery tools. B, conducting a needs assessment. C, designing workshop materials. D, choosing assessment rubrics. 5. A coaching session reveals that a participant is struggling with compliance-related decisions. What should the coach do? A, advise the participant on what decision to make. B, guide them to evaluate the regulatory implications. C, redirect the discussion to non-compliance topics. D, encourage them to rely on their manager's judgment. 6. Which evaluation method best measures long-term coaching impact? A, pretest scores. B, 6-month follow-up performance data. C, in-class role-play ratings. D, attendance records. 7. A coach observes that a participant prefers experiential learning. Which activity best suits this learning style? A, reading regulatory manuals. B, watching long slideshow presentations. C, engaging in scenario-based simulations. D, writing summaries of coaching content. 8. What is the primary purpose of establishing confidentiality boundaries in corporate coaching? A, to limit the coach's liability. B, to ensure psychological safety and trust. C, to reduce session time. D, to encourage competitive discussions. 9. When coaching a resistant participant, which strategy aligns with adult learning theory? A, forcing compliance through strict instructions. B, exploring the cause of resistance collaboratively. C, ignoring their resistance to avoid conflict. D, reducing session quality to match engagement. 10. Which communication method best supports clarity during goal setting? A, assuming shared understanding. B, using vague aspirational language. C, applying SMART frameworks. D, allowing clients to choose unclear objectives. 11. A corporate coach must design assessments that are objective and fair. Which approach supports this goal? A, creating unstructured reflection prompts. B, relying solely on the coach's personal judgment. C, using standardized performance criteria. D, allowing participants to self-score. 12. In curriculum development, sequencing content from simple to complex is most aligned with A, cognitive load theory. B, regulatory compliance. C, legal coaching standards. D, time management tactics. 13. A coach working with multicultural teams should prioritize A, using identical communication methods for all. B, avoiding cultural differences during sessions. C, practicing cultural intelligence. D, focusing only on dominant cultural norms. 14. Effective mentoring in a corporate environment should primarily provide direct answers to all problems. B, encourage reflective problem solving. C, replace formal coaching sessions. D, focus only on skill deficiencies. 15. What is the most ethical response when a coaching client reveals confidential regulatory violations? A, Ignore it to maintain the relationship. B. Publicly report the violation immediately. C. Follow organizational escalation policies. D. Ask the participant to fix it quietly. 16. To maintain learner motivation, corporate coaches should A. Discourage autonomy. B. Apply punitive grading. C. Connect learning to real work benefits. D. Reduce opportunities for reflection. 17. Which of the following is a key hallmark of effective feedback in coaching? A. Focus on the coach's perspective. B. Specific, actionable, and timely. C. General praise to boost morale. D. Delivered only during final sessions. 18. A coach designs an evaluation using rubrics tied to course objectives. This is an example of A. Summative alignment. B. Objective drift. C. Backward design. D. Instructor convenience. 19. During coaching, a participant becomes defensive when discussing performance gaps. The best next step is A. Confront aggressively. B. Pause and validate their feelings. C. Move on to a new topic. D. Increase pressure to respond. 20. Incorporating regulatory requirements into coaching curricula is essential because it fills time. B. It ensures participants meet legal and organizational standards. C. It replaces performance metrics. D. It eliminates the need for scenario practice. 21. Which coaching activity best strengthens metacognition? A. Role play without reflection. B. Guided self-assessment exercises. C. One-way knowledge delivery. D. Repetitive compliance memorization. 22. A coach wants to reduce cognitive overload in participants. Which strategy is most effective? A. Delivering content rapidly. B. Breaking content into digestible segments. C. Adding multiple simultaneous tasks. D. Removing all discussion time. 23. When mentoring new leaders, which approach best promotes long-term capability? A. Teaching them to depend on mentors. B. Supporting independent decision-making. C. Focusing only on tactical tasks. D. Avoiding reflection-based practice. 24. A high-quality evaluation of coaching outcomes should include A. Only participant opinions. B. Observations tied to performance indicators. C. Rewards for high scores. D. Irrelevant metrics. 25. In adult learning, relevance is critical because A. Adults learn only through tests. B. Motivation increases when content connects to real experiences. C. Adults prefer abstract theory. D. It reduces the need for coaching. 26. During a regulatory compliance coaching session, the coach should A. Provide simplified, inaccurate versions. B. Offer clear, accurate, contextualized guidance. C. Discourage questions. D. Focus solely on penalties. 27. Which communication behavior enhances psychological safety in coaching? A. Interrupting to correct quickly. Demonstrating non-judgmental curiosity. C. Avoiding difficult discussions. D. Maintaining emotional distance. 28. A coach wants to measure skill application, not just knowledge. The best assessment method is A. Oral quizzes. B. Real-world performance tasks. C. Memorization tests. D. Attendance scoring. 29. When designing a curriculum, which factor is most important for adult learners? A. Passive learning requirements. B. Opportunities to draw from prior experience. C. Minimizing interaction. D. Reducing workplace application. 30. A corporate coach must comply with data privacy laws. This means A. Sharing client data with stakeholders freely. B. Keeping all records transparent to the public. C. Protecting client information and limiting access. D. Retaining all notes indefinitely. 31. The most effective way to mentor high-potential employees is A. Providing continuous constructive challenge, delivering predictable, low-risk tasks. C. Limiting access to growth opportunities. D. Repeating the same development plan. 32. When resolving a coaching conflict, a coach should A. Avoid addressing the conflict. B. Use assertive and collaborative dialogue. C. Let participants handle it alone. D. Delay discussions indefinitely. 33. A coach facilitating organizational change must A. Provide stability by discouraging adaptation. B. Encourage reflective exploration of new behaviors. C. Avoid discussing change-related challenges. D. Focus only on technical skills. 34. A corporate coach is facilitating a session where multiple leaders express differing interpretations of a new policy. What is the most effective coaching approach? A. Enforce one correct interpretation. B. Encourage collaborative meaning-making. C. Avoid discussing the policy to prevent conflict. D. Let the most senior participant decide the meaning. 35. When designing a coaching curriculum for executives, which instructional strategy best supports transfer of learning to complex environments? A. Rote memorization of leadership terms. B. Static lectures with minimal interaction. C. Scenario-based learning with adaptive decision points. D. Open-ended discussions without structure. 36. A coach wants participants to internalize ethical decision-making practices. Which activity supports this goal most effectively? A. Reviewing organizational mission statements. B. Practicing guided ethical dilemma analysis. C. Reading long regulatory compliance manuals. D. Watching unrelated motivational videos.